Fox News contributor, National Review contributing editor, Deroy Murdock. Good to see you, Deroy. Now,
David, good to see you.
Mike's a simple guy, but he makes a very strong point. Sometimes when a government says, oh, we've got the solution, very simple, there are all kinds of consequences for that simple solution. He doesn't trust it, do you?
The unintended consequences. The National Association of Home Builders came out on this whole business of these new tariffs on Canadian lumber, and they estimate that the average single-family home is going to cost about another $1,200 or so because of the increased price in lumber. So you will see if we start saying, okay, we're going to buy from this particular person and block this and so on, rather than saying, focusing on price, you're going to get unintended consequences.
So what would
push up a lot of costs.
You switched very quickly, and rightly so, to the lumber tariffs that were announced today by Wilbur Ross and the president. If, in fact, the Canadian government is subsidizing lumber to the tune of $1 billion a year or thereabouts, what should we do about it? Just allow them to dump their lumber in and compete with our own lumber businesses?
We had an earlier segment on taxes. We're talking about how the swamp will protect this particular credit and this particular subsidy and whatnot. I think you have something similar in trade, where you've got all these different industries trying to get their own little deals through the Commerce Department and so on. I'd rather see the tariffs just flattened, the subsidies flattened or eliminated, and maybe we have a 5% uniform tariff. Anything you bring into the United States, maybe you pay 5% and that's it. And we ought to give that deal to companies, to countries around the world, and say, look, let's just get rid of these subsidies, even things out, and have
so
a
you would
flatter
rather have a flat tax than individual subsidies, but
yes.
But the individual subsidies allow you to pick, because not all countries are the same. Some countries would cheat, to use the word of Donald Trump or Wilbur Ross. Other countries don't. They play by the rules. That wouldn't be fair to the ones that are playing by the rules.
I'd much rather see us engage in a discussion with the Canadians and others on how to get rid of their subsidies and make the playing level even, as opposed to trying to raise our tariffs on our side to try to even it out that way. Because, as you say, you get the unintended consequences, costs go up, all sorts of confusion.
But you're not for a border tax, right?
No, I think the border adjustment tax is a terrible idea. It's very convoluted. This is part of the initial move towards tax reform. It's supposed to be about $1 trillion over 10 years, and it's a very, very convoluted thing where you increase tax on the border and then you try to adjust the higher prices by shifting the dollar, and that dollar value somehow it's very convoluted.
Well, we are hearing, to your satisfaction and my own, we're hearing that neither the border tax nor the carbon tax are in the mix. That has nothing to do with what we're going to hear about tomorrow.
Good.
Before they start adding any new taxes, they're going to get rid or lower the taxes that we have. That's the right track.
Well, look, the last thing the Republican Party should do, with control of the House, control of the Senate, and control of the White House, is start inventing new taxes. Right. God did not create the Republican Party to create brand new taxes, but to eliminate and reduce old ones. That's really where the focus should be.
You're right. Deroy Murdock, good to see you. Thank you very much. A special programming alert.